Hey all, welcome to Homeschool. Hope everybody are doing good. And I have come up with the most requested and the most wanted chapter of class 9, that is motion. Don't know why many of the students feel difficult with this chapter, but this is much simple chapter if you can understand the concepts. If you have perfect concept clarity, you can easily solve the numericals that can be asked from the chapter, and you can easily decide the questions based on the graphs. Okay, so I'm here to give you complete clarity on all the concepts that is there in a chapter motion. Okay, so before we start the chapter, I just wanted to tell you something. See, already some of the important chapters of class 9 is there in a channel. Video playlist links are provided in the description. Don't forget to go and check it out. And in future, I will cover all the chapters which are there in class 9 NCERT textbook. So don't worry about the chapters. So we are here to provide complete concept clarity on all the topics. Let's quickly go to the chapter motion. See, first let me tell you what are the concepts that are there in a chapter and how you have to study them in a particular order. Okay. See, first and foremost, you have to understand the meaning of the word motion. So what actually we mean by motion, what are the different types of motions are there, how do we describe motion, all the introductory part you must have an idea. And later we will speak something about distance and displacement. See, it's very important to understand what is the difference between distance and displacement. If you can understand this differentiation, half of the problem in understanding a chapter is solved. Okay, so it's very important topic. Next is you must know something about speed and velocity. Okay, so speed is something related to distance and velocity is something related to displacement. So you must know what actually there is a difference between speed and velocity, right? And then speed and velocity, we actually talk average speed and average velocity. I'll tell you why we need to talk about average speed and average velocity instead of just speed and velocity. Okay, fine. And later, very important term, that is acceleration. We have something called acceleration, and there are certain problems that you have to calculate based on acceleration, average speed as well as average velocity. They are quite important. Okay, fine. And later we understand motion from plotting certain graphs. Okay, so graphical way of understanding motion is what very important topic from this particular chapter. So we have actually three types of graphs. Okay, so we have xt graphs, we have vt graphs, and we have at graphs. So what do you mean by xt, vt, at graphs and how to plot them? What is the information you will get from graphs? Everything we will study in detail. Okay, and finally we have certain equations called kinematic equations. Okay, so motion can be described with the help of three equations mainly. So let me mention those equations now. I'll just mention, and more details about them we will discuss in the next video. Okay, so we have V is equal to U plus AT. This is one equation. S is equal to UT plus half AT square. This is second kinematic equation. And later V square minus U square is equal to 2AS, third kinematic equations. So these are the equations of motion. Okay, so based on them calculations can be asked, I mean problems or numericals can be asked. So you have to concentrate, and we can derive these equations from a graph also. So their derivation also we will try to understand from the chapter. Okay, and finally you have something about circular motion. Okay, very small introduction about circular motion you have, so no need to worry about this concepts, very little. So these are the major topics that you have to study from motion chapter. Okay, and in today's video I am trying to cover motion introduction, distance, displacement. So let us quickly go for what actually we mean by motion, right? So what is motion here? Motion is nothing but movement of an object with respect to time. For example, I am standing here. From here I am going at this point. So what has happened now? I changed my position, right? In a particular span of time. Say it might have took just 1 second or 2 seconds. Okay, but I changed the position. I was here, now I'm here. Okay, after 1 second I am here. So my position is changed in a particular time. Okay, this itself we will call it as motion. Okay, say chalk piece is here, I threw a chalk piece, it went there, again it came down. So position of chalk piece was changed. Previously it was in my hand, now it went up and it fell down, right? So position of chalk piece is changed in a span of time, right? So this itself we call it as motion. So how do we define motion? It is change in position, change in position with time. Okay, so this is how you can define motion actually. And we have different types of motion actually, right? Say we have, motion in straight line, right? So what do you mean by motion in straight line here? If an object is moving only in one dimension, okay, say if this chalk piece, if it is moving in only one dimension, it can move horizontally or it can move vertically. Okay, so if it is moving in only one direction, then we call that motion as motion in straight line. Okay, so what do you mean by this? Motion in one dimension, right? If it is moving in only one direction or dimension, then we call it as motion in straight line. So whatever the concepts we are discussing about motion is all about motion in one dimension or motion in straight line. Remember, so the entire chapter is all about what type of motion? Motion in straight line. So when an object is moving in only one direction, it can be horizontal or it can be vertical. We call that motion as motion in one dimension or motion in straight line. And the other type of motion we have is circular motion. Circular motion. Okay, so you might have heard, right? Our earth revolves around the sun. So how does it revolve around the sun? In a circular way, right? Say if this chalk piece, if I do it this way, how is it moving? It's moving in a circular direction, right? So this is another type of motion we have. And we also have something called vibrational motion. Vibrational motion. You know what? Every single matter is made up of atoms. We know, right? Say this chalk piece, if you consider, there are atoms inside. So these atoms have motion, they vibrate inside a matter. Say human body is made up of many cells. Each and every cell is made up of atoms again, right? So these atoms continuously, they vibrate, right? So that is vibrational motion. Like this, we have so many types of motion. Rotational motion is there, right? So many motions are available. Few motions are simple and few motions are very complex. That is difficult to understand. Okay, but we mainly concentrate about one particular motion for our chapter, that is motion in straight line. Okay, fine. And now motion is always observed with respect to observer. Okay, so one point I'll write here. Motion is described. Motion is described with respect to observer. So what do you mean by motion described with respect to observer? Okay, say you are standing on a road, right? Say you will see a bus moving, right? So inside a bus you have some passengers. So according to you, this bus along with the passengers are moving, right? According to your eyes, according to your perception, the bus along with the passengers are moving. You will say these passengers, these persons are in motion, you will say. But if you think of the people inside a bus, okay, so this is a person A, this is a person B, this is a person C. So for a person A, is B moving? No, he is just sitting in his position. He is at rest. He's not at all moving, right? So if you think of A, okay, in the perception of A, in the thoughts of A, B is not in motion. He is like A only, sitting in a particular seat. Only the bus is moving, not the passengers, right? But for you, who is standing on a road and watching this bus moving, he feels that people are moving in a bus, people are in a motion. But inside a bus, okay, when you think of the passengers, this A passenger thinks that B is at rest. He is not moving anywhere, he is just sitting in a bus. Only the bus is moving, not the passengers, right? So this is how motion is always described with respect to the observer. Okay, it depends on the observer's perception whether an object is moving or not. Okay, so that is what the meaning of this sentence. And also remember, this motion can be described by various terms, like it can be described with the help of distance, okay, and it can be described with the help of displacement, it can be described with the help of speed, velocity, etc. Okay, so whatever we are learning now, no, this distance, displacement, speed, velocity, acceleration, all these terms are used to describe the motion. Okay, they will help us in understanding the motion. Okay, so let us understand about the distance and displacement now. So what is distance, what is displacement, and what is the difference between distance and displacement? All of them we will try to understand. See guys, imagine you have a ball here. Okay, so this ball has moved from here to here. Okay, so it has changed its position. Before it was here, now it has moved here. And in how many paths a ball can move from this position to this position? Path can be n number, isn't it? There are too many paths. Say ball can travel like this and can occupy this position. Ball can travel like this, and this is path 1, right? And this is path 2, right? And ball can travel, it can take a long path and it can come to this position, right? What do I call this? I will call it as path 3, right? Say it is the distance. Say these paths, this length of a path, we call it as distance. Okay, so this is one distance, this is another distance, this is the third distance. Distance is nothing but it is the length, okay, through which a ball has traveled to come here. Okay, ball was initially here. Ball to come here, it must travel certain lengths, right? So that path length, we call it as distance. Okay, so let us try to understand the difference between distance and displacement clearly. So now that you got to know what do you mean by distance, isn't it? So distance is nothing but what? Length of a path. Length of a path through which object traveled. Object, okay, traveled is called as, distance. right? And now what do you mean by displacement? Displacement is this distance. Okay, so I can say it is the shortest distance. Shortest distance is always in a straight line. Okay, shortest distance is always in a straight line, and to some extent I can say it is the shortest distance. But actually displacement means change in position. Okay, say imagine this is initial position xi. Position I can represent with the term x. This is the final position xf. Okay, so what is the change in position? Change means difference. Okay, so that difference in position delta x, this delta means what? Change. Okay, so delta x is equal to xf minus xi. Final position minus initial position. So this change in position we will call it as displacement. Okay, so it's very important to understand the displacement. So change in position. Okay, so it is always final position minus initial position. So we always take a difference here. Okay, so finally it was at this point, initially it was at this point. So what is the difference? What is the length? What is the shortest length? What is the difference between them? That is what we mean by displacement. Okay, or in short we can say that it is the shortest distance. Okay, shortest distance between the positions, and shortest distance always will have in a straight line. Okay, say in the simple words you can remember this way, but actually displacement is this change in position, which is mathematically can be represented as final position minus initial position. Okay, fine. So what I can write here, it is change in position. Displacement is change in position actually. Okay, or I can say shortest distance. Shortest distance is called displacement, or that shortest distance it is always in a straight line. It is always in a straight line, not like this. Okay, right? So hope you got to know the difference between distance and displacement, right? Okay, fine. And now you know what? Distance can be described by magnitude only. Distance can be described by magnitude only. This sentence is very, very important to understand. Okay. So, for example, if I want to measure the length of this object, okay, I'm just telling you the meaning of the word magnitude. If I have to measure the length of this chalk piece, say I can hold it horizontally and measure with a scale, or I can hold vertically and I can measure with a scale. I get the same length, right? So here I'm not concentrating about the direction. I am just concentrating about the length only. Magnitude means amount. Okay, so I'm just, say for example, when I take scale and measure this chalk piece, I got 10 centimeter. When I held this chalk piece horizontally, I got 10 centimeter. When I held this chalk piece vertically, I got 10 centimeter only. So here I don't care about direction. I only care about the amount, that is the length, exact number, that is 10. That is what we mean by magnitude. Okay, so we say distance is scalar quantity. Distance is scalar quantity. So what do you mean by scalar quantity? The quantity which is described only by magnitude. Okay, quantity described only by magnitude is called scalar quantity. Clear? So I don't care about the direction. For me, only the number, that measured number is important. That's what we consider. So such physical quantities are called scalar quantity. So distance is the example of scalar quantity. So here we concentrate only about magnitude, that is just the number that we have measured. Say chalk piece, the length I measured 10 centimeter. That's what I concentrate. I don't care about in which direction I measured. Whatever the direction I measure, I get 10 centimeter itself, right? So that's what we mean by scalar quantity. Scalar quantity, it is a quantity described only by magnitude. So I say distance is a scalar quantity. Okay, and coming to displacement, and displacement can be described, it can be described by both magnitude and direction, both magnitude and direction. Okay, so we normally say displacement is, because of this we say displacement is vector quantity. Okay, this is a vector quantity. So vector quantity means it is the quantity described by both magnitude and direction. Okay, so the best example for vector quantity is actually force. Displacement is one example, but with force you can able to understand better what actually we mean by vector quantity. Okay, say for example you have a door, right? So this is the handle of a door. Say to open this door you have to apply force, right? Say if you apply force this way, right, towards you, when you apply force, say I'm holding a handle and I'm just applying force this way towards me, so that door will get opened this way. But if I apply a force, if I push it, door will get opened on the other side, right? So here in which direction you are applying force is also important. How much force you are applying is important to open the door, and in what direction you are applying a force. Depending on the direction, door will get opened outside or inside, right? If you apply force, like this, it will get opened towards you. If you apply force in the opposite direction, door gets opened in the opposite direction, right? Say here force, whenever you are applying force on something, how much force, that is magnitude. Magnitude is amount. How much force you are applying is important, and in which direction you are applying, that is also important, right? So displacement is something like force only. It has both magnitude and direction. That is why displacement is considered as vector quantity. So this point of difference is very, very important, guys. Okay, fine. And next point is, okay, always distance, distance is greater than or equal to displacement. Distance is greater than or equal to displacement. And you will understand this point better with one particular example. Okay, so don't worry, just copy it down as of now. And next point, very, very important point is distance cannot be zero. Distance cannot be zero. Okay, whereas displacement can be zero. Displacement, this is very, very important sentence, it can be zero. Okay, so let us understand these 2 points with the help of one example. See guys, you have some path. Okay, so this is some path, and let me take it as some x-axis because it's horizontal, right? So this is a reference point O. Okay, so let me start it from 0, and this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, fine. See, you are standing at the reference point O. Okay, imagine you have traveled and you got settled at the point A. So from O, you have traveled to A. Okay, so this is 10 meters, this is 20 meters, 30 meters, 40 meters, 50 meters and 60 meters. If I ask you what is distance, what is your answer? Distance is what? The path length, the length of a path that you traveled. So you traveled from O to A. What is the length you have? 0 to 60. That means 60 meters is your distance. Okay, and what is displacement in this case? If I ask you what is displacement of a person, then what is your answer? Displacement is also 60 meters only, because here initially you were here, finally you are here. So final point minus initial point, 60 minus 0. So how do you calculate displacement? Final point is this, 60, you are at 60 meter. Okay, minus what was your initial point? 0. 60 minus 0, 60 meters, right? So here displacement is also 60 meters only, right? So this is what the meaning. See here, distance is, it can be equal to displacement, I told. See here, distance is 60 meters, displacement is also 60 meters, right? Okay, and now second situation. This is situation 1. Situation 1. Okay, so in the second situation, say the same thing. This is point O, 0. Okay, so this is 10 meters, 20 meters, 30 meters, 40 meters, 50 meters and 60 meters, right? So this is you, right? So, and you are initially traveling at point A. Okay, you have come here. Okay, and from here again you are back. Okay, you walked backwards, I mean you took a U-turn and you are standing at this position. Okay, so you are standing at this position. This is point B. Okay, so initially you went from point O to point A and again you took a U-turn and you came back at 30 meters and you are standing here. So let this point be B. Can you tell me what is your distance in this case? What is your distance in this case? Distance is how much? It is point O, OA. Distance is what? This length, OA. OA plus AB, isn't it? AB. You started from this point, you have walked till A and again from A you came back to B. So the whole path, the whole thing is the distance that you traveled, right? So OA plus AB is how much? OA is 60 meters plus AB is how much? It is 30 meters, right? So altogether 60 plus 30, it is 90 meters is your distance. Okay, but what about displacement? What about displacement, guys? So displacement is, see, final position is this, right? Initially you were here, finally you traveled all along and you came back. So this is your final position. So this much is only your displacement, right? So that is 30 minus 0, displacement. Final position is 30 minus initial position is 0. So how much? Just 30 meters is your displacement. Just displacement means what? We only care about initial and final position. Initially you were here, finally where exactly you are? That distance, shortest distance is what we mean by displacement. Okay, so what is displacement? 30 meter. You see the difference? See, always distance is greater than displacement or it can be equal to displacement. In this case it was equal, but in this case distance was greater. Always distance can be equal to or greater than displacement. So displacement is only this. Finally you are here. Previously you went to point A, but we don't mind that. Finally you are here. Initially you were there. So this distance is what we mean by displacement. Okay, final position minus initial position only, right? So this is what the meaning of this point. Okay, so this point, fine. And now let me tell the meaning of this point. Say here the last point you observe, distance cannot be 0 whereas displacement can be 0, I said. right? Say here distance cannot be zero. Distance means the total length of a path that you traveled, that you have to consider as distance. Whereas displacement, for example, you started your journey from O, you moved to A, okay, you moved at this point, again from here you came back and standing here. So in this case, what is the displacement, guys? I'm talking about the third case, okay? So hope you understood the third case here, right? Say you were standing at point O, you reached A, again from there you took a U-turn and came back and starting at O. So what is your displacement? Initial position is O, final position is also O, right? So it is, what is O? O is standing at 0 meters. So 0 initial length, initial this thing is 0 initially, minus finally is also 0. So displacement is 0 meters, isn't it? So there is no change in the position only. You traveled. Distance is how much? Distance is 60 plus 60. You took a U-turn and came back to O. So here distance is 60. 60 plus 60, that is 120 meters. Whereas displacement is 0, change in position is 0. You were here initially, you went all along, you took U-turn all along and you are standing at the same position. So change in position is 0. Initially you were here, finally also you are here only. So displacement is 0, but distance cannot be 0. Distance is the total path that you took. Okay, so you took from here to here, again you went back from here to here. So the total path is 120 meters, right? So this is how we have to calculate distance and displacement. Okay, so there's a lot of difference between distance and displacement, that is this. So you need to remember all the points, right? And carefully analyze what exactly is the difference between distance and displacement. Okay guys, since video is getting very lengthy, I am stopping the concept here. We have covered, distance, displacement and introduction about the motion. And in my next class, I will come up with speed, velocity, average speed, average velocity and acceleration. Okay. I thought of covering those concepts also in this video, but it will take a lot of time. It gets very lengthy video. So I don't want to make you get bored, right, at the end. So let's meet you all in the next video for average speed, average velocity, and then about acceleration. We will solve few numericals also on those concepts. Okay. Thank you so much. Do subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in a easiest way and in a detailed way. See you all in the next class.